We in Cancerland, yeah, we run this show. 3 bald heads, but the lights still glow. From Jersey to LA to Ohio land, turn pain into purpose. Welcome to Cancerland. No hair, don't care, yeah, we still stand tall.
Welcome to Cancerland with your hosts Jeff Stibelman, Danny Gereg, and Brian O'Sullivan. 3 professional cancer health advocates with a passion to serve patients. Our special guest this week is Anetra Bey, an advocate and triple-negative breast cancer survivor.
And I'd like to welcome Anetra Bey to this podcast, a mom of 3 and a proud grandma of 2. 3 years in remission. Let's hear about that. 3 years in remission. Good job. Good job. Triple negative breast cancer diagnosed just in February 2022. Finished all her treatments in July of 2023. And she does a lot of work with the Tiger Lily Angel Advocates and starting that work in January. And started with ASCAN, ACSCAN, in March of 2025. So this strong breast cancer survivor from New Jersey also works with the New Jersey policy advocates, partnering with ASCAN and Tiger Lily to influence legislation that expands clinical trials and access, which I'm very, very strong in. So I'd like to welcome Anetra Bey. Thank you for coming. So basically, you're here to kind of share your story or anything else that is important to you that you think people would like to hear about or you'd like to share. So basically, we're going to give you the floor.
Okay. So I can tell you, I usually say that I didn't have symptoms of breast cancer prior to my diagnosis. But actually in October of 2021, I actually found a cyst, what I thought was a cyst underneath my armpit, and I went to urgent care. The urgent care doctor said, I think it's a cyst, and she gave an infected cyst. Or an inflamed cyst, I should say. And she gave me medicine, and she said for me to, if it returned, to see a dermatologist. Months later, January, I go to the hospital because I'm having right shoulder pain. I've had pain in my neck, all in my right underneath my breast, all the way up to the side of my neck. So I go to the ER, and they do blood work, they do an EKG, and then they tell me you're having a heart attack. Wow. So I get admitted. They give me a CT scan. My chart comes through while I'm admitted in the hospital, and the CT scan results show that I had a mass in my right breast, my right armpit, and by my right collarbone. Wow. Yeah, so that was great. So initially I was at one doctor's office, and they told me that I would need to do genetic testing for them to figure out how to do my chemo, like what chemo I should get. But I had already had a diagnosis of being triple negative. That next day, I happened to have an appointment with my hematologist, and she asked me, what happened at my appointment. I let her know, and she was like, that's not what happens when it comes to triple negative. Like, there is a strict protocol. There's no reason to wait. And she got me in with my breast doctor and oncologist very next day, signed all my paperwork, got my treatment plan, and got the ball rolling on that Monday. Triple negative is very aggressive, very aggressive. Right. So in January, when I received the CAT scan, the lump in my right breast was 2.5 centimeters. By the time I received my biopsy in February, it was almost 4 centimeters. Wow. It was 3.7 centimeters. So that in 4 weeks, that's how fast my tumor was growing.
And that was your hematologist that actually got you through all that? And
yes.
Noticed it and kind of advocated for you right there. That's really cool.
Yeah, my hematologist is a pancreatic cancer doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask
Very
something
good.
about your hematologist? Were you seeing a hematologist for another reason before that? Or
Yes, so I've been seeing a hematologist since January 2018 because I have blood clots. I have a history of blood clots.
oh, I see.
Interesting.
I have a history of blood clots.
Okay.
I just because I see hematologist oncologists, and I didn't even know what a hematologist was till I was 49. So, but yeah, no. Thank you.
Yeah, I've had my hematologist for a long while now.
It's interesting how we stumble on this a lot of times because even me, I was just going through. I had started a diet, and I found out that I was type 2 diabetic, and I was vomiting from, I think it was ketoacidosis, and they checked me
Probably.
for just a vomiting and just ripping in my esophagus, and the CT scan found a tumor, they thought, and put me through the
Wow.
rest of the thing. So we're lucky in a lot of
We
ways.
are. We
Yeah.
are. Like if I would have waited, I probably would have been stage 4.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
I probably would have been stage 4 if I would have waited. And so
Yes, sir.
that's another thing with advocating for yourself when you don't even know.
Right.
Mhm.
And
So
that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
It went undetected till it was stage 4. But the real section there, what I got from that is amazing because you learn real soon to put together a team. A lot of people don't do that. Like in the
Mhm.
lung world where I come from, a lot of us don't see a pulmonologist, and now we're seeing that, wait a minute, the pulmonologist can do a lot more for us than we realize, and we need to build a little team. And it's great that you picked up on it early.
oh, I have a whole team. I have cardiology, I see pulmonology,
It's very
I
important.
have I see GI, I have a urologist, a nephrologist. I see just about everybody.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. I hear you. When I had no symptoms either. I just went for a physical, and it was like, surprise, you didn't get COVID last year, you got cancer. It's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was, oh, I hear you.
So after treatment, so I did chemo.
Mhm.
I did chemo. I did the chemo with immunotherapy. Then I elected for a double mastectomy. Initially, my breast doctor told me she said I could do a single mastectomy, but with the statistics of being a Black woman with triple negative, I elected to have a double. And when I told her I would rather have a double, and she was like, "Thank you." She said, "I don't want to ever push someone to do a double mastectomy, but if you were my family member, like I would tell you, I would suggest a double." So I did a double mastectomy, no reconstruction, and then I did 28 rounds of radiation, and then I did an additional 7 rounds of immunotherapy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I started chemo March 2022, but I didn't finish my full treatment because the immunotherapy is still considered treatment,
Yeah.
July 2023.
Oh, you've got a lot on your plate,
I've always been curious about immunotherapy in bladder cancer when I got BCG and it was intravesical, just like a topical, we put it in there. Is that intravenous that
Oh, it
means?
went through your port.
Yeah, but and like
Yeah,
and I guess it just causes that allergic immune reaction, same way it did with me, just intravenously. So it
yeah.
causes a whole body. It's probably really bad though, because mine was pretty bad locally, but like it's how bad was that?
So my immunotherapy caused me to have pneumonia, but it was pneumonia. It was pneumonia based on Keytruda, like specific to Keytruda.
Okay, I've heard
So
that.
every time I received the immunotherapy, like I could just feel fluid all in my face, all around my eyes, all in my lungs, all in my chest. I would cough the whole next day. But the doctor decided like it was more beneficial because although I had a side effect, the immunotherapy is the only thing that we have to fight cancer cells when it comes to triple negative because we don't have targeted chemotherapy. We don't have a targeted therapy.
Yeah.
Targeted
So
therapy.
we agreed on to continue to keep going because I'm like, I want to fight with whatever I have offered to me. And that was the only thing. I could never get a breast cancer trial. Like I've always tried, but being a cardiac patient, you get a lot, no. I almost thought I got in there at one particular cancer center. And then 2 days before I was supposed to be signed up to get my blood draw, they reached back out and was like, our researchers decided against it.
Wow.
I'm like, my cardiologist says it's fine. Like my heart, I'm a cardiac patient, but like heart wise, my heart doctor is like, you're good. Like he okayed it.
Yeah. You think that would make it fine. And then this is a big hurdle in clinical trials. I've been talking a little bit about this lately. It's like, so you're just out of luck.
I'm just out of luck until I come across that research department that is willing to deal with someone with my case.
Liabilities.
But this is the thing, Black people in general are not in research. They're not in trials. So everything is not made for Black women, Black men. And for me as a Black woman who was diagnosed stage 3C triple negative, wanting and looking and hoping to try to get in a trial, it's like, where are the researchers who are going to eventually go down this lane? Because if Black women have high blood pressure or cardiac patients have high cholesterol from birth, some from birth, like we'll never be in breast cancer trials, and medications and things won't be made and geared towards us.
And that's what they use as that barrier, are those health issues. And okay, that's interesting, because I just feel like it's going to be something else. You know what I mean? It's like, because everybody's got secondary problems, comorbidities. That's part of this game.
Right.
Yep. But cardiac, high blood pressure, high cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And people think, out there, people think that, these clinical trials are easy to obtain. You just,
just apply
and you're good. And
just apply. No, it's not.
And it's not for all. I mean, it's not available in the smaller communities. It's not available to a lot of people, and they're getting their numbers and their research based on those people in the trial and the makeup of the trial is what I'm saying.
Yep.
So your advocacy, so you found self-advocacy really, really early in the game, because you had all these barriers that you had to overcome. And then you had people telling you no. And I'm sure, knowing you, that you weren't going to let that stand in your way.
No, that's why I still continue to try and still continue to try. I still fill out paperwork, although they still say no, 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 no. So now I use that to speak to other women so that they can get information and learn about trials and the importance of Black women and being in trials specifically.
You turn your negative into hopefully a positive for other people, and one of the reasons why you do what you do, advocate.
Yeah, because it's important. It's like we speak on wanting a cure, but yet we are not in the trials, either by reasons of the health factor, cardiac, blood pressure, cholesterol, or it's because of growing up people saying in our families, chemo kills, don't take chemo, they want to kill you, they don't trust it, don't do trials, they just want to use you as a science experiment, when in all actuality, if you're not in a trial, how do we get medications for cure? How do we get medications that are made for us?
Right.
So
I'm a big advocate. I'm a big advocate of clinical trials. I always say a clinical trial saved my life, because my barrier was with the insurance company denying the treatments that my oncologist number 2 wanted me to take, the targeted treatments. So we're in the same area, Anetra, and
you still had to fight.
I had to fight. I saw a total of 4 oncologists before being able to be treated the way, at 4 different medical centers, because at University at Penn, They told me about the clinical trial that I got at Memorial Sloan Kettering in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. So I'm very outspoken about clinical trials. I know just today we're talking about trying to get you set up on a trial with one of my colleagues from work, right? So, and it's like something has to be done with the healthcare system. How can these insurance companies control who gets what type of treatment, the best care? Because everyone has a right to the most cutting edge treatments and medication that there is out there. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter what type of insurance card we have. It's someone else is no better than I am. We're human race.
Yeah, I'm trying to get louder so I can
Great.
do more. So I could do more.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I met you guys, and then I learned more about. I'm telling people about bladder cancer now. Like I've never even thought about bladder cancer.
Had no
before.
idea it was there. I
And
should
had
have known.
no idea about bladder cancer, and now here I am talking to people who I meet, talking to them about lung cancer, bladder cancer, prostate cancer, colon. Like,
Yeah. I think
That's
the
the-
strength
that's
is
kind
in
of
the
what-
community.
education is key, and
Education
it
is key.
makes me
Education
so
is key.
alert now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Education is key. That's what kind of we wanted to start with Cancerland, is that, breaking off into our subgroups is great for education and learning, and it's necessary, right? But on a whole, when you start to become people, you come out of this fog, and after all, we're just people trying to survive. And
Right.
that's what Cancerland, we just want to come together as one for a while,
As a
and
whole.
just
Yeah.
kind of share our ups and our downs, and kind of learn from each other. And I think that's the strength of the message in Cancerland.
I think it's been happening. I think it's a new horizon on cancer. And when we talk about like not knowing there was bladder cancer, like when you're out there, when you at least think you don't have cancer, I walked around with it for probably a few years before, I had this alien just sitting inside of me. And then you open this door and there's this whole subsection of humanity that's over here dying and loving each other. And when I recently I might have told you guys at the last meeting, when I recently went into remission, I felt like I was back outside that door, but I've met such good friends in there. They don't want me to leave. You guys don't want me to leave. There's still a fight to do,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it's just for people like us, it's important we keep doing what we're doing. So that gets you into like, okay, you went through all this therapy. Where were you headed after? Like, did it start to clear up? Did it come back a little bit? Did you like go through your immunotherapy, your chemotherapy, you cleared up and you were good? What was your road to remission?
So my road to remission. My body responded to chemo almost right away.
Mhm.
So my second chemo, like you can tell the difference in my breast almost immediately,
Mhm.
right after my second chemo. So, my breast doctor, she was like, I was so scared because you were right on the cusp. Like we were because, not everyone with triple negative responds to treatment. And I just happened to respond in the right way. So by the time I finished treatment, the largest mass in my lymph node in my armpit was 2.5 centimeters as well. So that cyst, that was just a infected cyst, was 2.5 centimeters. And it was at the time of surgery 9 millimeters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And the mass that was in my breast shrunk. Everything
Right.
was shrunk, and I made it to no evidence of disease after my double mastectomy. I was no evidence of disease.
And
Nice,
NED for those out there, NED.
NED,
No evidence.
no
of
evidence of
Yeah.
disease.
NED.
That's what you
So-
want.
Club Med right there.
Yeah,
Club
yeah.
NED.
Yeah.
Relax,
Not
a little
Club
bit of
Med, but Club
relaxation.
Med.
Yeah, I don't think there was a real relax because you don't get regular scans, although because I have all these different other health issues, so I get scans by way of this new migraine that I've been having. I'm a cardiac patient. Going to get my chest is hurting, and I get a scan that way. But it's full of anxiety. Survivorship is not that fun.
Mm-mm. No, you got to have that reason to get that scan.
Exactly.
The CT scans
Survivorship
ain't
is
cheap.
not fun. No, they're not. But I felt more anxiety like 3 days after I rang, like 3 days or 4 days after I rang the bell.
Hmm.
I just had this strange wave of emotion and like, what in
Yeah,
the world?
exactly.
Yeah,
Like, now
right.
I
what?
know. Yeah.
Now what?
What's
Cancer
next?
spit
It's
me
like, what's
out, and
next?
yeah.
Yeah. And it's like that you go to the oncologist. And so when I finally went to my, not my last oncology appointment, but my appointment after I rang the bell for my immunotherapy, and I was telling her, like, you know, after I ring the bell, I don't know what, like, I have so much anxiety and scanxiety and reoccurrence rate,
Mhm.
because the
Yeah.
reoccurrence factor for me statistically,
Yeah,
I should have a reoccurrence right after treatment dang near.
unfortunately.
So that's
Yeah.
scary.
It is
And then the
scary. It is
doctors are
scary.
like, if you have a pain, then I can send you for a scan. But it's like, I have to wait for I have to wait for a pain
Hmm.
to get a scan. And my thought process
Yeah.
is, if I am diagnosed with stage 3C triple negative, one of the most aggressive breast cancers there is, with a high reoccurrence rate, there is no like protocol for when treatment is finished. There's no like, I can give you a scan in 3 months. You can get a scan in 6 months. There is like nothing. It's like, if you have an issue, let me know and then I can give you a scan.
So did that NED, that diagnosis, give you more stress then, didn't it?
It did. I had terrible terrible
did you have a thing where
PTSD.
some people, when the treatment is not comfortable and it's a pain, you got to get there and sit there and all that we know, and the side effects, but for some people when they stop treatments, some people are happy, I'm done with that, that's in my
Yeah.
past, but for some people it's a lifeline. Did you feel that that was the case for you after they tell you that you're in remission? What were
When
you feeling?
No stress. I had anxiety, because this is the thing. When you research, which I wouldn't do it now. Now I tell people don't do it. But when you get those statistics of reoccurrence rates, and then because I'm very much into listening to researchers, I join a lot of cancer Zooms and things, and it's educating, but then it's also triggering when you have to hear the amount of reoccurrence rates and mortality rates and all of that. So although I was NED, I knew that NED can still lead me to another diagnosis in a short period of time. So
Hmm.
I felt like I was like I'm a sitting time bomb of like, when.
Were there kind of like mid statistics range, or was it like a 50-50 chance of coming back, 80%? Like, what did they kind of look like
Oh
for your time?
no, it's
Really bad?
high.
Is bad.
It's Yeah.
I think
That is
people
such
don't
a
know what.
thing now, too. When you're away from it and you hear you got the worst case, you got the best cancer. People that get
Yeah.
skin cancer, it's always like, oh, well, you got the good one on skin cancer. I mean, that people don't know. That's a
Really?
terrible
That's a
disease.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's the biggest organ in your body,
Well,
And I think
I think it comes down to people not knowing what to say.
What to
I
say?
used to
Right.
be a little upset by that,
yeah.
but I think people are so nervous to talk about mortality that it comes down to, they're trying to help, or they're trying to make you feel better, and really what I tell people is you don't have to go that far. It's not that hard, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to me about this cancer I have, that's fine. But if you want to just kind of interact about it, then just all you have to do is say one thing. How
Yeah.
are you feeling? And I promise you, everybody in this room and everybody out there has a cancer diagnosis of whatever it is. We will let you know. We'll tell
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
I would
we,
tell you, I don't hide it.
right.
Right. Right. I'll share a quick story. So I was picking up a medication at the drugstore. It wasn't for me. It was for someone. I was picking that up, and somebody asked me what Brian's journey stands for, and I said, well, I'm a cancer survivor. I'm diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, And this person behind the pharmacy said to me, "Oh, one of my best friend's husbands had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma." And I said, "Oh, is he doing okay?" And she said, "No, he died at 51, you know." And I'm like, "Hello, that's my age right there." And like, and this is the person behind the pharmacy. You know, it wasn't the actual pharmacist, it was just the tech.
They don't know. So
It was
everybody
just
out
like,
in Cancerland, we don't want to hear about your lost loved ones who are cancer.
If you can't relate, don't relate.
You don't
Yeah.
have to relate. You don't have to relate your situation to another cancer patient.
When you get a G, like something GU like me, you know, genitourinary stuff, and they start thinking genitals and whatnot, oh, it throws people just out of their minds. They
Yeah.
can't. That's why I try to bring it up. It's like, hey, if that shocks you, then now you're gonna know, you know. But it's an unconscious link when you start talking about that stuff.
What people have
just
to
don't talk about
understand, what
mine.
people have to understand too is, you know, our bodies are different.
Mhm.
And our bodies react differently to treatments. And so
Yep.
what may have not worked for somebody else doesn't necessarily mean, and you may have the same, if you have a mutation, you may have the same mutation. If you have the same diagnosis, you may, you know, it doesn't play sometimes because our bodies do react differently.
Yep.
So those stories, you know, aren't always what happens as a whole, you know. I might.
And if I could tell a new cancer patient with a new diagnosis, I would say everyone's body is different. Their diagnosis may not be your diagnosis. We can get the same diagnosis but have two different journeys on that cancer journey. Their diagnosis is not your diagnosis.
There you go. That was my next question. What any advice for newly diagnosed 000 or whoever, you know?
I would suggest finding cancer friends. Cancer friends are really the best friends. Find a cancer friend because they understand what you're going through. They know about your journey that you are starting on. They've already done it. It won't be the same, but you can speak on different things. They can speak on different things that have helped them on their journey. They could speak on the good ginger to have, the good teas that help settle their stomach.
Yeah.
So although, you know, you were diagnosed with the same cancer, it may not be the same journey, but you can still get advice and from someone who understands.
Someone that knows where they're headed, or you've been there before, kind of thing.
Yep.
That's where it works on advocacy. I think it's that one-on-one because it's so specific. And that's where, like with bladder cancer, like there's so many different sections of it. And when somebody comes with me with muscle invasive bladder cancer, it's like I can take you up to a point, but here's my person, you know. And with mantle cell, I'm sure it's even, you know, 'cause you were talking the other day, Brian, about somebody that has mantle cell that you got with your advocacy. And you touched them, right?
They just messaged me. I woke up to some messages in my inbox, and it's like it's happened before. And I know that this person had to have went to Dr. Google and went mantle cell lymphoma and saw the same rabbit holes that I went down. But when I went down that rabbit hole in May of 2021 on that Friday night at 8:30, when I got my diagnosis, and I didn't go past the stats. You know, I didn't go past that. I didn't see people sharing their journeys about that. And I'm glad this person did. I'm glad I can be there for someone else.
Makes you feel good.
I believe strongly in mentorship as well. So I'm a mentor with Blood Cancer United. I'm a mentor with Cancer Hope Network as well. So I just, you know, I want to be there for someone as somebody was there for me. Because that night when I felt so alone, I took to Facebook and I found support groups on Facebook. So I'm grateful for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was sitting, it came in on like a Friday night and it said, your test results are in. And I said, my heart dropped. You know, I have tachycardia, so my heart rate took off because I got scared, and I was sitting there and I text my friend Janelle. I said, girl, my results came in. I don't want to look. I'm scared.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. I took and I breathed and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. It's either going to give me an early detection or it's going to give me a clear. clear
Rip the
results.
Band-Aid off, huh? Rip the Band-Aid
Yeah, so
off.
I just ripped the Band-Aid off and I opened my phone and it said that it was negative, and I'm like, thank
Yeah.
gosh. But
Still not a fan of getting my results on my phone.
I'm not.
I remember that night when that was the worst night of my life. It was, like I said, when LabCorp gave me my final diagnosis. It was a Friday night at 8:30.
Wow.
I just, and I was home alone. It was still during the pandemic, but anyway.
That's anxiety is
But
real.
yeah,
real.
it's real for a lot of people. But
Yeah.
but
So many people, we're not the only ones getting our result. Like I was so this is the funny thing is when I got my chart results, I read them. So I already read all of the things, already hit Google on all of the everything. And so the next day, because I was admitted into the hospital, so the next day they send in an oncologist and a breast doctor at the same time.
Wow.
And then he says, well, we don't know. They found some things in your breast, but we don't know if they're cancerous or not. We're going to do some further testing, get you a mammogram and everything, and go from there. I'm thinking to myself, like, I said, okay, I've already Googled this stuff. So I'm like, you can't coddle me. Like, I've already read it, sir. Already read it.
They
But
must
my
hate that
chart
too.
diagnosis is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm good at it now. And that scares me a
really.
little bit too. You can
Reading
read it.
scans.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and I would tell any patient to get good at it because I know so many, and like Brian was saying with the mentorship, so many that don't want to, and you can't get me away from that. You want to ask me to wait like a couple hours? No way. The only thing is not getting that clean thing and having more scans. It just builds. And
Mm.
when they found when I got all my bladder cancer kind of taken care of, then they found the lung nodules. And then they said, well, we really don't want to go in and look at them because they're 5 millimeters. We don't do it until they're 1 centimeter. So I was like, well, what can I do? We wait a year. We'll do these follow-up
A
CT scans.
year is wild.
And then
That's
and I was in, and Jeff can probably understand this like a lot more than most people, but I was in there and he's looking at my CT scan and he's like, I see lung cancer every day. And I don't think this is lung cancer. I think it's a lymph node, but can you wait a year for your next scan? Because that's just what we do now. And I said, yeah, man. And I tucked that away. And because I was going through immunotherapy, I was dealing with my bladder. A year went by, I got on my chart, it pinged up, and I said, oh, I got a CT scan, pulmonologist. And I cried my eyes out. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to die. I forgot. It's going to be over a centimeter. There's going to be two of them. And thank the good Lord, they stayed at 5. And I stopped them. I said, I'm not waiting another year for no. It was kind of dumb. I know.
Yeah, now you know.
And that's the key too. That's the key too. It's okay for you to say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with waiting a year. I prefer you to do me in 6 months. And being proactive with your health, especially with the cancer, is so important. Yeah. I won't wait. Oh, you're doing so well. Yeah, today.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know.
It's so fast, man. Cancer can go fast.
It's like watching.
I'm that case. I'm that case. I did my first cancer diagnosis. I'm a 3-time survivor now. 2017, they removed it. It was in my cervical spine, after which, of course, they did full body scans. Now, it was on the scan itself, but the radiologist neglected to put it on the report. So that small nodule in my lung, it's non-related, was not seen or picked up until I decided to go in and see my doctor during COVID to have a regular checkup before I decided to do the vaccine. So we were fighting about that vaccine, whether it was good or bad, blah, blah, blah. If not for the vaccine, I wouldn't be here today, because that nodule became a nothing, non-really specific, and could have had a wedge resection and removed right away. It was found then to be very large. And in that new report, it said, that it's grown significantly since 2017. That was in 2021 of May, same as Brian's date. So that's when I was stage 4 lung cancer patient.
Okay, we're talking about the Bird Foundation. Alvin, we met him the other day. Do you want to say
Alvin
anything
Fields.
about it? Amazing.
Definite shout out to Alvin Fields and all the work
You want to give a little information on that, Anetra?
Yes, the Bird Foundation is in Philadelphia. It's was created from Nia Bird and her family. Their family has a healthy amount of cancer on both sides. So their foundation focuses on all cancers. They do a lot of education events in Philadelphia. I was blessed to be able to be on one of her breast cancer panels. Amazing, amazing. They do amazing things for the community. She's a young radiologist from West Philly.
That's BYRD, Bird Foundation, right?
Yes.
And where Alvin does play into that, I didn't mess that up, right? Because I was in on
yes,
that meeting
no,
and
yes,
got
he
the
is.
connection.
He is.
Okay.
Yes, he is a part. He is a part of the Bird Foundation. That's his family.
Amazing.
Nia is his niece. I might have to have her pop on one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be nice.
I'm connected
Alvin is
online
a
with her. She's
dynamic.
awesome.
Totally, yeah.
Dynamic.
Oh man, he just made me happy being in the room. So I'd love to have him on the show.
He's dynamic.
And
He's
Nia
doing
too. It'd be great to have Nia on there.
Everybody, get a bit. You know, we
Yeah,
can have
I'll
way
have
more
to
people
send
on.
her. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
She's everywhere. I'm so proud of all the work that she's doing.
Yeah.
She's everywhere. She
I've
is
never met her in person.
everywhere.
I'm connected online with her, and I see her. You know, so
Yeah, she's if you follow her online, she is everywhere, and I love that because she believes in education and she's education and awareness. Like she
That's what it's all
means
about.
business.
Yeah,
She means business.
Now you primarily were on, was it Instagram? What's your main platform?
Instagram.
Instagram, it is Rose Garden. We can find you looking up
Rose Garden _24.
Okay, and we'll put some info in the descriptions and stuff to make sure we get to Anetra's social
so
media.
Where are you today in final discussion? Where are you today as far as, you know, your passions and your dreams and your hopes, and, you know, for yourself and for the community? And
today I am looking to get more involved with ACS CAN, to do more policy work with them, and also more policy work with the Tiger Lily Foundation. I didn't see myself going down this road, but once you start finding out about monies being taken from research and what goes on behind closed doors and no one's talking about it, I feel like I want to help be that extra voice where I can speak on community, real life issues, real life issues, real life situations, watching the people that I am around every day struggle to get basic care. So I feel like policy is where I want to go and do more when it comes to advocacy. So advocating just fell in my lap. Like I didn't, I didn't know what I was doing online, sharing my story. I was just sharing my story to keep my family and my friends updated all at once. So I didn't have to send out 15 different or 30 different text messages and answer the phone all day. So I figured I'd put it online. And then the advocacy part just fell in my lap, and I'm accepting it. I'm accepting it. So I'm looking forward to doing more in 2026. Advocate for yourself, get your scan, get the blood work, get the colonoscopy, get the mammogram, get your prostate checked, make the physical. Because when was the last time you had a physical?
Yeah.
Go to the doctors.
Yep.
Get that backache checked out. That it may just not be back pain. It may not be your sciatica.
Definitely.
Unless you had a scan, you don't know what it is. And ginger ale doesn't fix everything.
Oh my gosh. That's what we were taught too. Well, it has been absolutely amazing having you, Anetra. And you can check out Cancerland every week. We're going to try to do these every week with the
we are.
And reach more people and talk about more subjects. And thank you again, Anetra. And that's
thank you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you,
Anetra.